Hello everyone, my name is Jacinta from Tonic. Welcome, this is a mat-based Pilates workout today, but we're going to do movements that mimic the reformer. So I have a few props with me and I'll give you a few substitutions if you don't have them. So starting with the ring, if you don't have a ring, we're just gonna use our legs, our arms without the props. So it's still gonna feel the same-ish, but without that extra level of resistance, but you can still join in. We're gonna use some sliders. Again, if you don't have these, just go ahead and grab some face washers or paper plates, anything really that will glide along your floor. Okay, and then I'm also using a booty band, and again, if you don't have it, you don't even need it, don't worry, we'll just lay down on our side for our side glutes and use the body weight and that mind to body connection. So we're gonna get started first with your ring if you have it. Otherwise, join in still. You're gonna lay on down and place that ring in between your knees. Place your hands on top of your hip bones and walk them in, slide them in 1 inch and down 1 inch. So you're in the meaty, fleshy part of the lower abdominals. From here, you're exhaling, lifting the legs to tabletop, connecting your heels and toes together. So keep those knees hovered over your hips for now. I want you to breathe in through your nose, expand your ribs wide to the sides of the room, and then exhale, squish your ring together, feeling your lower abdominals pop into your fingertips. So you've got your pelvic floor lifting and that transverse abdominis wrapping in. Then we inhale, release the ring, and release the core. So exhale, smooshing that ring, really working the inner thighs right into that deep core. Inhale, release. So you can place, or keep your hands there if you like, otherwise just rest them on the floor if you have that connection. But it's a great one to have that feedback. Are we really connecting in? We blow out through pursed lips to feel that waistline wrap in. Let's go 2 more here. So inhale, release the ring wide, and exhale, smooshing that ring. Inhale, really release slowly. It's equal work on the way out and on the way in. We squish one last time. Lift your head and shoulders up. Keep that smoosh, and we're pulsing the chest. Lift up and down 1 inch. For 5, 4, keep squeezing the ring. 3, 2, we hold the next one up, reach your arms long. From here, lowering the toes towards the floor and then lifting the legs back to tabletop. So inhale, lower the legs, and exhale, strong core, lift them back to tabletop. So you've just got a slight pressure in on the ring. If you're not using the ring, just keep your legs in a diamond shape. You are still working really strong. So our legs don't have to tap the floor. We only want to go as far as you are capable of before you start arching, letting go of your abs. So less is more. We lower, inhale, exhale, pull up. Just final 3. Inhale, lower, exhale, pull back up. Give me 1 more. And rest the head, shoulders down, lengthening the arms and legs overhead. Holding onto that ring if you're using it. If not, just float those arms up to the sky and follow along, chin to chest, rolling up bone by bone, coming up and sit tall, reaching the ring or hands up towards the sky. And we're gonna reverse that movement really slowly. So tuck your hips under first, feel your lower back lower onto your mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way down, reach those arms long. Keep going here. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, scoop and roll your chest all the way up and sit and grow tall. Good. So press the back of your knees down in towards the floor. Squeeze your legs as well, so everything's working to help lift you up. If you need a modification to make it a little bit easier, we keep our knees bent and we just go ahead and roll up with the knees bent, or just holding onto the back of your legs and assist on that roll up with your hands, really pulling onto those thighs. So we have 15 seconds more. Really warming up the spine here. We're gonna get into our sliders in another 10 seconds. Roll all the way down. I'm gonna fold the mat in half and use the mat for a bit of support through the upper body. So you could follow along there as well. Last 5, roll it down. Final 1, 3, 2, and 1. So let's swap props. We're grabbing those sliders. Option, folding your mat in half. You're gonna have your hands down onto the mat, sliders underneath your knees. To complete our warm-up, we're going knee tucks. So let's slide out, tuck your hips under, squeeze, lift up through the belly. Hands are right underneath your shoulders, really strong plank here. And then keep those hips still, tucking the knees underneath you and lengthening out. So you breathe out as you tuck the knees in. You inhale, lengthen your spine, lengthen your legs. Squeeze the glutes. So make sure you find that perfect plank each time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pulling that belly button back to hug your spine. Good, can we puff the chest up a little as well? Really working through our upper body as well as that core. Beautiful, nice and slow. 10 final seconds. Good, give me 8. Keep that slow tempo. We're gonna stand, moving into our leg work in 5. You won't need the mat. In 3, 2, last 1. Hold your plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, and knees down on 1. Well done. So just pop your mat out of the way and come to standing for our leg work. Okay, so feet or half of your foot goes onto your sliders, ready for a skater. Hands are onto your hips. From here, send your hips back. At the same time, slide your right leg away. So heel, knee, hip in line, and then squeeze and lift up through that left glute. So inhale, lengthen the right leg away, weights over onto that left side, and then we float back up. So keep going. You're gonna have a really heavy left leg, really light through that right leg, that moving leg. You inhale to tip forward from your chest, and then you exhale, drag up through that heel, squeeze right up into that hamstring and gluteal fold. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, using those arms here, we're reaching them long as we extend the leg. Breathe out. Good, really lifting up tall. Inhale, send the hips back, back, back. Exhale, lift, keep going. So I'm driving the hips back, driving down into your floor as we stand back up. So right leg needs to be as light as a feather. Good. Go for 20 more seconds. Should start to feel that left quad working, but really loading up through the back posterior chain. So again, that glute, the hamstring, by digging your heel into the floor. So it's really a mind-body connection. You really need to tune in. Give me 10 more seconds. We will be holding it down, moving into our skater in 5 seconds. Hold low in 3, 2, holding low on 1. Skater that right knee in, so feet by feet, and extend it away. With the arms, elbows draw into your side waist. We then lengthen the arms away. Can we stay low? This is where it's gonna get a little bit heated through that left leg. So you just wanna breathe into that uncomfortable feeling, because we will be done very shortly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Can we sink a little bit lower now? Final 8 seconds. Maybe wiggle those left toes. Check you're loading up through that left heel. Last 4. Let's hold that leg out in 3, 2. Right leg stays out. Pulsing through the left leg. Down an inch, up an inch. Woo, very good, nice work. Keep going, last 8 seconds. We can stand, shake it off in 5, 4. We'll go to a lying position with your mat in 3, in 2. Squeeze and draw all the way up. Well done. We revisit the other side after we do some side lying glutes. So here's where you might want to use your booty band, or if you don't have it, don't worry. You're just going to move the leg the same as me without the resistance. You'll still feel it. So let's lay on down. Okay, so we're gonna have our hips stacked, bringing those legs parallel so your shins are in line with your mat here. Hips stacked. Now from here, we're gonna lift up that top leg, little circles, keeping resistance on the band if you have it. So just a little hover of that top knee. Really just getting those glutes and hips mobilized and switched on. Now I want you to really focus on keeping that bottom leg dead weight, so it's heavy. We're not using it, just that top leg. Good, let's reverse those circles, other way. Beautiful. So throughout this side lying series, we want to create long length through the side waist, so top and bottom waist, as long as you can. Last circle here, and rest the leg down for a second. Okay, going into our clams here, so we're lifting the leg up, little pulse up, down, and lower. Keep the tension on the band. If you don't have the band, just hover. We lift up and pulse and lower. Reach that top arm up to the sky if you'd like to progress here. Beautiful, building a nice burn through that top side booty. Pulse, pulse, and down. Beautiful, you can have a little rest, reset whenever you need to, and then join back in. Good, try and turn your knees slightly up towards the sky as well. We're really gonna flick on that glute. Woo, last 10 seconds here. Nice, last 4, 3, 2, rest the leg down for a second. Now extend that leg once you've reset. Leg is as long away from your head as possible. Okay, from here, sweeping the leg forward. We lift up, back to hip height, sweep it back. So hamstring sweep forward, lift up a few inches, down, back to parallel, and sweep it back. So keep going here. I'm just going to add on a bit of footwork. So I want you to point your toe as you sweep forward and up, and then flex your toes back towards your face. Drive back through that heel. Good, point, reach forward, lift and lower, flex the foot, reach back with your heel. Good, so each time you reach your heel back, you could have a little peek every now and then. Check that your heel's going far back enough that you're extending slightly through the front hip here. So getting right into those glutes, it's gonna get nice and juicy. Okay, so 20 more seconds left on this one. You're doing amazing. This is really tough, especially when you are tuning into that muscle that you're working. Okay, so give me 10 more seconds now. You're nearly out of it. Good, last 3, last 2, and 1. Well done, guys. Okay, keep your heels together. Back to a clam. This time just opening and closing that top knee. So keep that little hover to keep the tension slightly on the band so it's not too lax. Okay, so our hip stays still, just that knee turns up towards the sky. Checking that we've got long lines through the side waist here, that those ribs are melting down, and you're feeling really relaxed through the face. Great work. 20 more seconds to go. Beautiful. The range might look quite small, especially if you are fatiguing, but we know we're working strong. We're toning that knee out, really fighting for it here. Last 10 seconds. Woo, and we're gonna get into some arms. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower on 1. Well done, take your time here. Give those glutes a round of applause. Pat it out, and then we're gonna grab that band, place it above or around our wrists. Getting into some arm and back work. All right, so come kneeling. Arms are extended to shoulder height, and I want you to tuck your hips under. So lengthening your spine as much as possible. You're pressing slightly out on the band. If you're not using a band, just have those hands shoulder distance apart. Roll your shoulders back. Okay, so keep that length through your spine here now as we hinge ourselves back and forward. All right, so with those arms, we're gonna open them out and then lean back and then come forward, stretch open the band, and then repeat. So inhale, lower, lean back. Exhale, using the quads to lift us up, connecting into that back. All right, so give me as much stretch on that band as possible. Woo, really pull it apart here. Good, sinking those ribs down. So we're connecting through that core and we're pulling at the top, that's right. Inhale, exhale. All right, one more layer if you'd like to progress. As you lean back, you might like to float those arms over your head for a further progression. Coming forward, opening out. Inhale, lean back. Find that beautiful stretch through the front of your thighs. Okay, so we've got 15 seconds left. Good, last 5. Let's lean back and hold it together in 3. In 2, we lean back, hold, opening and closing those arms here. Good, maybe opening up a little higher. For 5, lean back a little bit more, tuck the hips under a bit more. 3, 2, and come forward on 1. Sliding that band above your elbow is the word I was looking for, elbow crease. And we're gonna come down into your half plank. So abs are drawn in. This is going to assist us on some push-ups, lowering the chest down all the way to the floor. So inhale, lower the chest all the way down, and then exhale, press back up strong. Now, because you have that band on, and if you're wanting to progress, you're going to go into your full plank here. So you might surprise yourself, give it a shot. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press back up. So let's make sure that's not hitting my mic so that you can still hear me. Inhale, lower. Pressing out. All right, 15 seconds. Full plank or on your knees. You've got it. Last 12. I'm gonna go back to our standing leg work in 8 seconds. Get that chest down each time. Last 6. Give me 4. Ooh, 3. Last one, lucky last one. 2 and 1. Well done, guys. All right, so we're not quite done. We have to even it up. We're gonna move that mat out of the way. Going in with those sliders underneath your feet. And this time moving the left leg. So we have a lateral lunge into our skater. So let's begin, hands onto your hips. Lengthening tall, ribs in. Send your hips back, sliding away the left one, and digging that right heel down into the ground to stand up tall and proud. So inhale, slow, 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 and lift. Nice. If you're feeling particularly tight through those inner thighs, you might get a nice little stretch. So we get that strength, that length, and then that resistance as we coil back in. Beautiful, adding in those arms now, reaching them long. Long line from your fingertips all the way back out through your tailbone. Ribs knit in. Inhale, lengthen back up. So exhale, lift back up. Sliding it away. Really make sure we're squeezing right up into that hamstring, right into that gluteal fold. We do that by digging that heel through the floor. Create that resistance. So you've got 20 seconds left still to deepen that burn, to maybe bend down a little bit more through that right leg. Great work, slow and steady. So skaters coming up in 8 seconds time. We're gonna stay low in 5. Into, holding this next one down. Lengthen it away. Bend the knee, weight comes over that right leg the whole time. Nice and light through that left leg. Let's go, stay low. Once you've done a couple, we add on with those arms. We're reaching them long, tucking down into the waist with those elbows. So can we give it a little squeeze? Creating that resistance once again. Inhale, exhale. If you're not feeling that butt yet, can we sink a little lower? Send your weight back a little bit more. So you've got 15 seconds before we stand. We're gonna shake it off. And in 10 seconds, we're side lying with that booty band, with or without that booty band. So let's get that mat ready. In 5. Reach. 3, 2, and squeeze all the way up. Well done. So pop those sliders away. Roll back out your mat. And then, laying on your left side, place that band above your knees once again. All right, so make yourself comfortable on your left side. So shins parallel, tracing the front of your mat. Lower, down, hips are stacked, lengthening that top waist, maybe by reaching that arm we can check. And then we want those ribs to close back in. And then we're gonna add the leg, and we're actually on the other side, so we're gonna go this way. So we're gonna lift up that leg, little circles, up and around. Beautiful. So up and around, keeping that hover, remember, from that bottom knee. We want to keep those hips still, even though we're circling. It's all about stabilizing through the pelvis. That's where that core comes in. So that's why I'm cueing you. Make sure you're drawing that belly button back towards your spine. Reverse those circles. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, in 2, lower down on 1. So keep that set up. Maybe have a little reset if you need to. We're adding in a pulse at the top with a clam. Lowering down to hover. Lift up and pulse and lower. Our glutes should be feeling really strong and peachy right now. Done lots of good work standing. Let's even up this side. Give it as much effort as you did on that first side. Lift up and pulse and lower. Remembering we want to keep that bottom leg as heavy as you can. It's not helping us out here. It's all about that top leg moving. Should be feeling that deep burn now. We've got 20 seconds left. You can do it. Pulse, pulse, lower. Pulse, pulse, and hover. Nearly there, doing so well. Woo, it's got me good. Give me 5, 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Well done. All right, we're extending that top leg here now. So we want our toes pointed and lengthen that leg out as much as you can. Can we draw that belly button back in a little bit more? Can we lift up and get a little gap between your mat and your rib cage? Sweep that leg forward. It's a lift up and down, fight for it, and then sweep back. Pointing the toes forward. Then when you're ready, flex your foot back and drive back through your heel. Lift lower and draw it back. Melt that bottom leg down into your mat and create as much energy as you can through that top leg. Remember that little tip, we're gonna check, lift your head up, check that your heel is back a little bit further, maybe even a centimeter to an inch behind your glutes. So we get that true hip extension so we can really fire up that glute max here. Keep going. Woo, it's getting really spicy now, but we've only got one more variation on this side and then you're done with your glutes for the class. So stay strong. Only 10 seconds left on this one. Good, last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest it down for a second. We're gonna fold at those knees and heels back towards your hips a little bit more. And then when you're ready, it's those clams. We're gonna keep our heels connected and we lower, hover, keep about a fist distance apart. Lift up, really resist out against that band. Stretch it out as much as you can. Make sure that you're feeling it through the side glute and not through the front of your hip. So I always direct you to place your heels in a different level. If you are feeling it through the hip, have a little play around. One side might be a different setup as well to the other. All right, give it everything here. Last bit of glutes, as I said. A little bit more core to go with that ring. Really turn that knee out towards the sky. 10 final seconds. Squeeze your heels together. Can we open that band a little bit more? Good, maybe reaching that top arm here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, guys. You can whip that band off. Great work. Back to your sliders if you have them. Otherwise, I will give you a modification. All right, so sliders go underneath your feet. You're back into a plank. This time, one knee at a time. So slide one knee right underneath your chest, lengthen back out, hit your plank. Inhale, slide it in, exhale, back out. So if you don't have sliders, you're just gonna go into your mountain climbers. All right, so all those same cues that we talked about before, we wanna have our chest slightly puffed up. So our shoulder blades are broad across the back of our rib cage. Pressing down into those 10 fingers. Let's work our core to finish. "15 seconds before we take our reset. Five, 4, 3, 2, and have a little reset. Our last one is mountain climbers but faster. We're gonna draw the knees in across your chest on a diagonal line. We're gonna go as quick as we can. We're gonna give it everything here to finish off strong together. Are we ready? Hands underneath your shoulders. Lift up, tuck your hips under, let's go. Pull it in. Knee, 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 let's go. Okay, only 15 seconds left of this class. Run it in. 8, 5, 4, little quicker, last 3, last 2, and 1. Whew, stay there for a second, stretch those arms away from you. Drop your chest down, keep your hips up for our puppy pose. Stretching out through the upper back, lowering that heart rate down. Stay for one more breath in. And on your exhale, slide your left hand underneath you, twisting the upper body. Keep your hips up high. One more breath in. On your exhale, press back up through the middle. Right arm weaves under, and we rotate that chest, dropping your right shoulder down onto the floor. 3 breaths here. And on your next exhale, come in with those knees underneath your hips, moving into a nice cat-cow, arching your spine. Lifting up through the chest, moving through flexion and extension. And really breathing through those stretches, trying to find our heart rate lower, relaxing for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That brings us to the end of your Pilates non-reformer workout today. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that your body is feeling strong and flexy. That was an all-round total good workout, I would say. Let me know how you went below. Maybe leave me one word in how you're feeling in your bodies right now. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. This really does support me so I can keep on giving these workouts to you. And like the video, and I'm gonna see you back here for our next workout really soon. So I'm Jacinta from Tonic. Have a beautiful day.